So Jamal Niaz here at Cage Warriors, back with the main man, and you've had a very, very busy and eventful day, haven't you, Tom? Finally, the face-to-face with Jon Jones happened. It's already gone viral as we speak. What was that experience like, looking into his eyes for the first time and having that face-off?
Yeah, it was good, mate. I wanted to, we're at the same event, so obviously it makes sense for me to, we've got the interim champion and the undisputed champion at the same event. So, but it's a bit weird that there's an undisputed champion and an interim champion, because undisputed means no one can dispute it. But if there's another champion, I don't know. It's a little bit weird the way it works, but yeah, it was good. It was good, mate. We had a little chat. It was all good.
I mean, the back and forth, it looked awkward from his perspective. He looked surprised to see you, because I think it was that you went to where he was based, where he was doing the meet and greets, and there was that moment where you was being friendly and you put your hand on his shoulder and he brushed it off. What was that bit like for you? Well,
I think he thought I was putting his hand on his shoulder being disrespectful, but I wasn't. I was doing it. I wasn't there to be disrespectful, mate. I was doing it in a friendly way. I didn't want to. I'm not trying to cause no beef. I'm trying to fight the guy and take his belt. That's what I want. I've no beef against the guy, and yeah, just wanted to meet him. Just friendly, nothing crazy.
I think in terms of the way that you were both going on Twitter, that was it was pretty amicable, weren't it? It wasn't aggressive from his side, because he did get aggressive on Twitter early in the year, didn't it? Like, you were sick of, like you mentioned, having to wait for your shot. You've got the interim title, you won in Madison Square Garden, New York, beat the scariest contender in the division in Pavlovich. Miocic isn't going to be ready anytime soon. Jones definitely isn't going to be ready this year.
Blaydes, it is them. Mate, I'm easy. I'm the easiest person ever to entice into a fight. I've never turned one down yet, so when anything that's stopping me from fighting right now is not down to me, it's down to the UFC. So I'm just waiting for the UFC to let me know who and when, and I'll be ready.
In terms of those back and forths that you had earlier in the year, you kind of drew a line under it, didn't you? You tweeted last and said, you've said your bit, that's it. You had some very choice words to say, if you remember. But at that moment in time, was he getting under your skin at that point?
Mate, words are words, and online is online. I couldn't care less about it, mate. It's just talk, innit? It's just talk. I want to fight. I'm not really interested in talking. I'm interested in fighting. So, when Jon's ready, I'm sure they'll let me know. And if he's not ready, I'll be waiting.
You can see the demand, though. You can see how viral the clip's gone already. It's only been online for about 2 hours. And the tweets went viral early in the year, the back and forth. It's the most talked about fight in the division and probably in the UFC at the moment. That must fill you with confidence anyway, that if it ever got announced, it's going to be one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time.
Yeah, mate, but as I said, I ain't stopping no fights. If the fight's not happening, mate, it's not because of me. It's not because of me. It's either because of the UFC or Jon or whoever. I ain't never stopped to fight. I'm not willing to. Ask me for the fight and I'll say, yeah, simple as that, mate. I'm easy.
I mean, the Curtis Blaydes fight is very easy to make. There's a storyline with yourself. It's redemption, getting over that tough period in your life 2 years ago. You're now in a completely different circumstance. You're going in as the heavy favourite. From a storyline perspective, how great would that experience be for yourself in your home city as well?
Oh, that would be good, mate. That would be nice, because I have one blemish on my UFC record where I lost for an injury to Curtis Blaydes. Nothing personal against Curtis, but professionally, I want to get that one back. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have a loss on my record to anybody. So obviously, I want to get it back. I want that fight.
And I don't want to obviously undermine the Blaydes fight, but is it when you kind of get your hopes up when you're staring the heavyweight champion in the face, Jon Jones, and you're not going to get that? Does it deflate you in a way? And obviously, Dana as well has been sort of really pushing for the Jones-Miocic fight as well. You've done everything you can. The fans have voiced their opinions. Dana's not seeing it. Jon's not seeing it. Are you feeling deflated from that?
No, because I don't think he's going to fight me anyway. I think I'd be very, very surprised if me and Jon Jones ever stepped in the octagon together. I wasn't, I'm trying to get the fight, but I'm not trying to get it realistically. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to have a bit of fun and see what he's all about. Today, I don't expect a fight to be off the back of this, because in all honesty, I don't think the UFC is going to go for it, and I don't think Jon Jones is going to go for it either. So I'm not deflated at all because I wasn't expecting the fight anyway.
Do you think it's funny how things have changed from when you flew over to Paris to try and set up the Cyril Gane fight? He took the higher ground and tried to act as if you'd have to chase that fight. 2 months later, you're interim heavyweight champ and he's chasing you. Do you think it's funny how things have changed and people are flocking to you more than ever before?
I think so, mate, but it's all just noise to me, do you know what I mean? I just stick in the gym, I stick with the goal, and that's it. Like, this outside stuff, it doesn't really bother me at all. It doesn't. Media is media, and words are words, and that's it. Like, whatever.
Was Gane completely on the back burner, though, as soon as you won the belt? You was like, do you remember things like that? Do you take that personally, or do you still see that as a really great test and a fun, fan-friendly fight?
Well, I've never actually been offered the fight. As I said, if I get offered it, I say yes to fights, but I don't know if you've seen last week, Blaydes was saying that every time he's asked for the Cyril Gane fight, Cyril's turned it down, and same, bro. So I don't expect that fight to come off either.
And you had the whole experience in between all the Jon Jones stuff earlier in the year. Everyone wanted to see you on UFC 300. You wanted to be on UFC 300 more than everyone. And the Alex Pereira fight was the one that was discussed. He's actually on it now against Jamal Hill. You've gone out and said that he wants to come to heavyweight, but just not yet. From your end, was there ever a moment where you thought, I'm going to be on the card, it's looking likely?
Not really. I just heard that he wants to go to heavyweight, and obviously, if he's going to go to heavyweight, the biggest fight for him available right now is me. So I presume that's where he was trying to go with it. But then I found out that he doesn't really want to go to heavyweight yet, so I just kind of give up on that. It's no issues for me, mate.
Do you think his power would translate well to the heavyweight division, or do you think he'd be too small?
I don't think he'd be too small. I think he's dangerous against anybody. Like, just because you're heavier doesn't mean your chin's better, necessarily. So I think he could knock heavyweights out for sure, yeah.
If I was you, mate, I would just be parading everywhere with that heavyweight title belt. What was that first week like? Because we've not actually had a chance to catch up since Madison Square Garden. And I know it's sunk in because I know you're a massively ambitious, driven guy. You're always chasing the next thing, the next goal, the next high. But what was that initial experience like, bringing it back to Atherton?
Yeah, it was good, mate. It was really good. But that's done now, so I'll forget about that, mate. I've got a lot more work to do and a lot more stuff to prove, so I'm thinking about that rather than what happened 3 months ago.
2-3 fights this year you're looking at?
Realistically 2. 3's not going to happen. 2 fights would be good. 1 in the summer, 1 at the back end of the year. That's good for me.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks,
man.